Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go over the top 5 fixed blades that I reviewed in the year of 2024. Stay tuned. Before we do that though, I'm going to invite you guys to subscribe, like, share, and comment. Helps what I do out at the channel every single day and would help boost the channel in the algorithm. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Alright folks, and welcome back to the channel. Like I said, we're going to go over the top 5 fixed blades that I did review in 2024. Now, are these the greatest fixed blades that came out in 24? Not necessarily. It's the ones that I personally reviewed. The way this is going to go is I'm going to go from the least expensive to the most expensive, starting out with your budget knives and working up to the more premium stuff. So number 1 is going to be this Mora Companion. I've done a couple of reviews on this guy. This was a revisit we did in the summer. Handled well. Obviously, you know Moras, they are absolutely bomb-proof. I mean, you can send these things to space and they'll come back in one piece after falling through the atmosphere. That's how good they are, it seems. But overall, not too bad. An excellent knife, and for 18-20 bucks, you really can't beat it. Basic polymer sheath, drainage hole. If you know someone who's getting into camping in their outdoors, 20 bucks is 20 bucks, man. Just get them a Mora Companion and call it a day. This is an excellent outdoors knife and it will serve anyone well. So let's break down knife number 2 just a little bit. So this is the Flisa D2 fixed blade. It's like a Chinesium produced D2 fixed blade knife. That's literally what's called, the Flisa D2 knife. I was rather surprised with this. I even used this to open a paint can and it didn't mess up the tip too badly. Pretty good construction though. D2, I think it's like rock weld between like 58, 59, or might be 57, 59. Don't know that for sure. If you do know the correct answer, correct me in the comments. Pretty cool though. You have a couple different lashing points so you can get like a really good purchase on this thing. So if you just want to beat the absolute heck out of it, you can. It is rather thick. I believe it's a little over 1/8 of an inch. I mean, just look at that. I think I paid 30 bucks for this one because it has D2, micarta, and a phony leather sheath. That isn't actually too bad. It's better than most of the stuff you'll get from Benchmade. So anyways, 30 bucks. You can find these on Amazon. The cool thing is you do have all these Allen keys in here. So you can take the handle scales off and do your own work on it. 90-degree spine. Like, this is probably, like, it's not a Mora beater, like, but it's pretty darn close. I mean, you're going to get a thicker stock, full tank, so you're not going to be worried about breaking this thing. And I did torture test the absolute hell out of this thing, and it went fine. I do have a full review on this. Go check it out if you're interested. All these knives, by the way, have a full review. It's kind of the point of the video. The sheath, a little bit loud. Put it by the microphone so you guys can hear. Not terrible. You do have a rather large loop for belts. I wear like 1.5 inch belt, like 1.25 inches, something like that, and it fits, no problems there. Leather to disconnect the sheath, obviously, like that. The one thing I would keep in mind with this Scandi, I did put a new profile on, like a micro bevel, and you almost get to the point where you can slice that little leather strip and then you're just screwed. You're not going to have anything to give you tension, excuse me. But you got the Flisa there. It's like a phony leather, I believe, unless they just put some weird coating on it. Decent stitching. You do have a drainage hole, so it's like better than some of the knives you get on the market here. Not a fan that it's made in China, but what are you going to do? 30 bucks, honestly, right up there with the Mora. Probably not as good as the Mora, but definitely performs well in its own right. So, yep, let's move on to knife number 3. So knife number 3, give me 1 second, just taking a sip of coffee. Knife number 3 is something, I don't even know if BPS has this on the market anymore. They did a limited run of these. Let's see, it would have been November of 23? Yeah, I think 2023. I'm getting my years mixed up. It's a custom knife. They put 100 of these out. I got number 21. I don't know why. I guess that's what they picked. Full tank construction. Pretty good. I believe it's got a 90-degree spine. Most of these BPS offerings do. Decent jumping finger swells right there. Get a really good purchase. Micarta. And the steel on this guy, I'm blanking for a minute. 5CR1 or 5CR14 MOV. So not the greatest stainless steel, but not the worst. Like in there somewhere, right? Paid like $70 for this guy because it's like a custom thing. I was I thought it was cool, right? Tested it out, it did pretty well. I'm a fan of the stone washed finish. I wish they would do this look on more of their knives. The shiny's not bad, but if you do this, it's gonna be better rust resistance and whatnot. I haven't really had any issues on this, and I've taken this guy out in the snow as like my dedicated belt knife. Micarta's great, awesome texture on it, especially with those finger swells. You're gonna get locked in there with that Jimpin, just a good knife. I wasn't noticing really any hot spots, and for the price point, like Mora seems, or excuse me, not Mora, BPS seems to do a lot better job with their fit and finish once you get above that $45 price point. Like, I'm not noticing the little inconsistencies you'd see like on the Adventure or the Savage with the handle scales. Again, Micarta is probably easier to get tighter tolerances with, especially with shipping and all that. Did come a little loose from what I remember, had to fix that. The sheath is not, I wouldn't say it's anything to write home about. It's a polymer sheath. I wouldn't call it Kydex because I think it's just plastic. I don't know what they can get over there in Ukraine right now, given the state of affairs in that neck of the woods. But you do have this phony Blade Tech lock that doesn't like to work all the time. So that's probably the biggest detriment to this thing. Let's see if I can get it. Ooh, I got it. It's kind of wonky getting this thing on your belt. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like, it doesn't really fit in there that well. And you have to have a really tiny belt. It works, you can get it to work. Ambidextrous, so you can put it on either side. You can probably rotate it too and be a try-hard and carry it scout style, whatever you want. But yeah, they do limited runs like this every so often. I paid, I believe, $70 for it. Pretty cool though. Definitely something unique, something to have in the collection. But yeah, fan of this. Let's move on to knife number 4. I'm gonna be 100% honest. Try not to be biased here, but this is probably my favorite knife of the year. I didn't like it at first. I'll be 100% honest. I didn't really see a point. I thought I wasted like $180 or whatever the heck I paid for this thing. It is the Brissa, not Felissa, Brissa. I believe this is the 95 Trapper. They're smaller. They have a 115 that's got, I believe, a 3.5 or a 4-inch blade. This one is significantly smaller, just over 3 inches of cutting edge. More of a compact fixed blade, 90-degree spine, full tank construction. You do have that beautiful micarta with red liners. Looks like you got a silverish tube in the back for your lanyard and an excellent leather sheath. Beautiful dangler option. You don't want to just shove her down there, and you have more than enough real estate to put any size belt through there. One of the detriments though, I tried to wet form this guy a little bit, but if you're gonna like throw on this thing real hard, it's gonna fall out of there. Just keep it upright, or try to. You're not gonna be able to carry it like on your backpack strap like that when you're hiking. Fortunately, some people that's a no-no. They don't want to have a knife that they can't do that, but it's more of a traditional style finished blade. It's a Finnish company made in, I want to say Italy or Spain. I believe it's Italy. It's Italian steel bowler N690. It's got extra chromium in it to give it that shininess. Woo, woo, woo. Pretty cool though. I was such a fan of this thing. I did a month-long road trip through the Rocky Mountains. You can see those videos on the channel, by the way. They're about 3-4 months ago. But I carried this thing the whole time, and it did not let me down once. This thing's absolutely bomb-proof. The edge holds up on it really well. Whatever they're doing with that N690, with the extra chromium, it seems to hold an edge really well. Scandi grind, obviously. I've only had to resharpen it once. It's because I don't know, I did something silly with it. I dropped it or folded the edge on the blade. So anyways, I resharpened it once, and the thing has been bomb-proof since. Beautiful sheath. I believe this goes for north of 160 between like 220 is what I believe this goes for. Picked it up on Amazon on a sale or something. I'm not exactly sure. It does have a drainage hole, beautiful stitching. For the money, do I think it's worth it? Not for everybody. It's kind of a niche thing, but it is a good little hiking knife, a good little belt knife. If you're just going to go out for a day and come back to base camp or get back to your car and drive home, I think this would serve a great purpose for that. It's, again, a niche item, but I think if that's what you're into and you want something a little nicer than, say, the Mora, because that will do literally anything, look at the Brissa. It's not bad. I have reviewed a couple other of their knives, and they're decent. So let's move on to knife number 5. We're going to take a look at knife number 5 real quick. I just did a review on this, so I'm going to glaze over it a little bit. If you want to see this, it's like the video right before this in the channel feed. This is the Bark River Knives Bravo series. This is their rampless model. in 3V steel, and this knife absolutely kicks ass, if you ask me. Little over, I think right at 5-inch blade, probably just slightly less than that with the Ricasso you've got there. Beautiful black liner, or black micarta right there, full tang construction all the way through. You have this silverish tube right there to put your lanyard. It's a little narrow. I guess if you want to use like, what's it called? Waxed or tarred bank line, that would work. If you're going to even fit paracord through there, it's a little tiny. You might have to use like a toothpick to ram through there. That's a detriment for some people. Beautiful convex edge on this guy. This thing is absolutely bomb-proofed. I was a little disappointed. I was just doing some minor chopping, you know, nothing crazy, stuff that was about yay thick. And I did fold a significant section of the edge, and I had to reprofile from about here on the blade up to right where the transition point comes. You can even see a little bit of it left. Got it back to a workable edge, but I was kind of disappointed about that because Bark River Rockwell's these guys at 60, so it's pretty good. That's similar to what you're going to get with S30V. This is going to be a little bit, it's going to have some other additives in the metallurgy process, makes it more beneficial in certain aspects. That being said, overall a great knife. Not noticing any corrosion yet, and I did have that thing out in the snow and then put it back, rode it hard and put it up wet, as they say. It is made in Michigan, I think up in like Sheboygan or something, or I guess it's on here. Escanbaba, or I don't even know. I'm going to embarrass myself. I don't speak Michigan, so if someone wants to read that and tell me what it says. Escanaba, yeah, Escanaba, Michigan. This one, though, I got from DLT Trading. Pretty cool website. Paid $200 for this guy. I believe the other models can go for significantly more, like up to the $300-400 price point, especially depending on steel type. But their Bravo series is bomb-proof, from what I can tell. The black micarta, it's not, everyone's not a fan. It is pretty slick. I will say I was using gloves and just, you know, holding it regular out in the snow, and I wasn't noticing an issue. Like, even if my hands are just a little bit wet, it's going to have enough, it's going to be tactile enough for me to do what I need to do. Now, if I was like working in low light, or I don't know if I'd get an animal with this. It's not really the profile I like, but working with all that blood and low light, I might choose something else just because of how slick it is. And blood can do some weird stuff to micarta handle scales, so you probably don't want to necessarily do that. You risk injuring yourself. This sheath, though, is something else. Everyone's not a fan. I know a lot of people, from what I've read, don't really like it. Just pretty simple sheath. Like, you just shove her down in there. I did actually nick it when I was doing that video. Oh well, not that big of a deal. You've got a bunch of lashing points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way around. Beautiful leather. No drainage hole. I guess no drainage hole whatsoever, so that might be an issue for you. And you do have all different types of attachment points. I just ride it or carry it like this, left side of my belt, because I like to be normal with that. Right, you can run it scout style on a pack or whatever. And you do have, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm like jerking the heck out of that thing. Really good tension on this. Some people don't like how difficult it is to pull that knife out. I don't personally see a point in using this as a self-defense knife. I think that's kind of goofy. My opinion, you might differ, whatever. I don't, unless I'm in a situation where a bear's running up on me and I'm going to die. So that's like it's like I can probably win the lottery before I get attacked by the bear, right? So I'm not worried about having to deploy it real quick. Some people are, and that might be an issue for you. It's relatively simple. If you have any amount of upper body strength, you should be able to do it. I'm a huge fan of this. They did a really good job. I'm just disappointed of how it folded so quickly. I might have been the one to do it. I might have hit like a small rock or something. Who knows? Or there might have been a nail in the piece of wood I was cutting. You can never tell. There, especially in the snow, a lot of stuff gets covered up. But it did perform well, and after probably 10-15 minutes, I was able to get that fold worked out. But yeah, $200 on DLT Trading. I don't know how many more of these they have, but if you're interested, go check it out. I believe it's the Bark River Bravo Series Rampless 3V Black Micarta. That's probably what you want to look up on DLT Trading if you're interested. But yeah, That is number 5. Let's move to honest. 2024 was a good year. I did not do as many knife reviews as I thought I was able to. Kind of got sidelined in the middle of the year with the hip surgery. I'm back though, thankfully. So I will be doing more knife reviews in this coming year. Let me know, out of these 5 blades, we did some pretty cool ones, and I'm not going over the pocket knives yet. But out of these 5 blades, which one would you pick? I've got a little bit of something for everybody. If you like custom work, I've got the custom knife. If you like more inexpensive, budget-friendly knives, I've got 2 of those. And if you like some of the higher-end stuff, I've got 2 of those for you. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you would like to see another type of video like this, please be sure to let me know. Subscribe, like, share, and comment helps out the channel greatly, and I do appreciate it. I will see you beautiful people on the next video.